Douluo Dalu. Soul Land is a legendary Xuanhuan fantasy series written by Tang Jia San Xiao and later adapted into a highly acclaimed comic. Combining cultivation, adventure, mythology, war, romance, and divine ascension, the story follows the extraordinary rise of Tang San, a genius disciple whose destiny transcends worlds and reshapes the fate of an entire continent. In his previous life, Tang San belonged to the legendary Tang sect, the most feared martial arts clan famous for hidden weapons, poisons, and secret techniques. Although he was only an outer disciple, his intelligence and dedication allowed him to secretly master forbidden inner sect arts. Determined to reach the pinnacle of his craft, Tang San stole the sect's greatest secret manual, the mysterious Heaven Treasure Record. Knowing his crime was unforgivable, he chose death over capture and leapt from the terrifying Hell's Peak. However, death was not the end of his journey. Tang San awakens in another world known as Douluo Dalu, or Soul Land, a realm where there is no magic, battle aura, or traditional martial arts. Instead, power comes from martial souls, mystical spiritual entities possessed by every individual. At the age of 6, people awaken their martial souls during a ceremony conducted by the Spirit Hall. These spirits can take the form of animals, plants, weapons, or objects, each possessing unique abilities and potential. While weak spirits are considered useless and suited only for daily life, powerful spirits can be cultivated through spirit power, allowing their owners to become spirit masters, the most respected profession on the continent. Tang San is reborn in Holy Spirit Village as the son of the blacksmith Tang Hao, a mysterious man living in seclusion. During his spirit awakening ceremony, Tang San shocks fate itself by awakening twin martial souls, an extremely rare phenomenon. His first spirit is blue silver grass, mocked by others as one of the weakest spirits imaginable. Yet his second spirit is the legendary Clear Sky Hammer, one of the strongest martial souls in existence and the symbol of the once dominant Clear Sky clan. Realizing the dangers surrounding this power, Tang Hao orders his son to conceal the hammer from the world. Tang San soon learns that spirit masters become stronger by absorbing spirit rings from soul beasts. Every major cultivation breakthrough requires a new spirit ring, and the quality of these rings determines a cultivator's strength and abilities. With memories from his previous life and unparalleled discipline, Tang San begins a path of cultivation unlike any other. The world of Douluo Dalu itself is vast, ancient, and unstable. The continent is divided between two great powers, the Heaven Do Empire in the north and the Star Luo Empire in the south. Though both empires appear mighty, political corruption and the growing independence of feudal lords have weakened them from within. Numerous kingdoms, noble clans, sects, and military forces compete for influence, while legendary locations such as the Star Do Great Forest, Sunset Forest, and Sea God Island hide powerful soul beasts and ancient secrets. Above nearly all powers stands the Spirit Hall, the most influential soul master organization on the continent. For generations, the Spirit Hall monopolized the cultivation world, surpassing even the famous top 3 sects in prestige and authority. Possessing the inheritance of the angel god, the organization gradually grew more ambitious and militaristic. After internal tragedy involving Qian Xuanji and his disciple Bibi Dong seized control of the Spirit Hall and transformed it into an aggressive empire seeking domination over the entire continent. As Tang San enters Nuoding Academy, he meets Xiao Wu, a cheerful and energetic girl who quickly becomes his closest companion and eventually the love of his life. Unknown to most humans, Xiao Wu is actually a 100,000-year-old soul beast who transformed into human form. Their relationship becomes the emotional heart of the story, symbolizing trust, sacrifice, and the fragile bond between humans and soul beasts. Tang San later joins the legendary Shrek Academy, an institution that accepts only true monsters among geniuses. There, he meets extraordinary young spirit masters who would become his lifelong companions. Dai Mu Bai, Oscar, Ma Hongjun, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing. Xiao Wu, Tang San. Together they become famous as the Shrek Seven Devils. Under the harsh guidance of Flender and the brilliant strategist Yu Xiaozhang, known as the Grandmaster, they undergo brutal training and life-threatening battles that transform them into legends. Their fame spreads rapidly during the Continental Advanced Soul Master Tournament, where the Shrek Seven Devils defeat elite academies from across the continent. Tang San astonishes audiences with terrifying hidden weapon techniques inherited from the Tang sect, while his tactical genius and leadership abilities become undeniable. Yet behind the tournament stands the Spirit Hall, whose influence and ambitions threaten the balance of the entire world. When the Spirit Hall discovers Xiao Wu's true identity as a transformed 100,000-year-old soul beast, they attempt to hunt and kill her in order to obtain her spirit ring and soul bone. Tang San risks everything to protect her, beginning a direct confrontation with Bibi Dong and the Spirit Hall. As the conflict deepens, Tang San uncovers the tragic truth about his family. His father, Tang Hao, was once the greatest genius of the Clear Sky clan and one of the youngest titled Douluo in history. Tang Hao fell in love with Ayin, a 100,000-year-old soul beast who had taken human form. When the Spirit Hall discovered her identity, they pursued her for her immense power. To save Tang Hao and their child, Ayin sacrificed herself, leaving Tang Hao consumed by grief and hatred. Learning the truth strengthens Tang San's determination to destroy the Spirit Hall. To gain enough power to protect those he loves, Tang San undergoes deadly training in places such as Sea God Island, Slaughter City, and dangerous soul beast territories. During his journey, he masters hidden weapons, poison techniques, domain powers, twin martial soul cultivation, and divine inheritance. He also recreates terrifying Tang sect weapons capable of changing the course of entire wars. Eventually, Tang San is chosen as the inheritor of the Sea God, one of the divine beings of Douluo Dalu. Through impossible divine trials, he surpasses mortal limitations and gradually ascends toward godhood. At the same time, other powerful figures, including Bibi Dong and her successor Qianren Xue, also pursue divine power. Soon, full-scale war erupts across the continent. The Spirit Hall launches campaigns to conquer kingdoms, sects, and empires, forcing the Heaven Do Empire, Star Luo Empire, and numerous clans into desperate alliances. Tang San evolves into both a supreme spirit master and a brilliant military commander, while the Shrek Seven Devils become symbols of hope and resistance. Amid the chaos comes one of the story's most heartbreaking moments. Xiao Wu sacrifices herself to save Tang San. Though her body perishes, her soul remains connected to him. Devastated, Tang San dedicates years to finding a way to resurrect her, making her revival his greatest motivation. Through divine power, perseverance, and sacrifice, Xiao Wu is eventually restored to life. The story reaches its climax during the final divine war. Bibi Dong ascends as the Rakshasa god, while Tang San inherits the power of the Sea God. A colossal battle erupts involving gods, titled Douluo, divine armies, soul beasts, and the Shrek Seven Devils themselves. After an intense and devastating struggle, Tang San surpasses his limits and defeats Bibi Dong, ending the Spirit Hall's reign and bringing peace back to Douluo continent. Following the war, the Spirit Hall collapses, the continent slowly recovers, and the Shrek Seven Devils become eternal legends remembered throughout history. Tang San and Xiao Wu ascend to godhood together, with Tang San ultimately becoming one of the most powerful gods in the entire Douluo universe, laying the foundation for future generations and sequels within the franchise. Throughout its story, Soul Land explores themes of friendship, loyalty, sacrifice, love, revenge, destiny, perseverance, and the relationship between humans and soul beasts. With its vast world-building, intricate cultivation system, emotional storytelling, political conflict, mythology, and unforgettable battles, the series remains one of the most iconic and influential fantasy works in modern Chinese fiction.